I'm here to address the elephant in the room. John Cena's last match was terrible. And it's not terrible in the fact that their performance was garbage. It's terrible in the way that it was written and scripted. For reference, John Cena tapped out for the first time in years. And I think it was over 20 years since the last time he tapped out. That's not the way your GOAT should go out. Ric Flair had a better send-off than John Cena, and he's not regarded as the GOAT. A legend, yes. The GOAT, no. And I feel like what they did for John Cena was kind of disrespectful. Think about this. Cody Rhodes came back and got fireworks. I'm talking about legit pyro for his entrances. John Cena did not have any pyro on his final match. I was expecting some great send-off with a ton of fireworks, with the crowd singing his song. He walked out in silence. To make matters worse, it didn't even look like he struggled with the submission. It literally, he smiled and tapped. It was less of him, like, what the fuck? So you're telling me Mr. Never Give Up, Mr. You Can't See Me, Super fucking Cena, the guy who's literally been 100 overall in more than one WWE game, submitted to a fucking sleeper hold from Gunther. The same Gunther that was just a few years ago a fat-ass, overweight Austrian guy. I do not understand why people keep saying on TikTok and Twitter that this was the best way to get sent off. He lost his match, he set up the next generation. No. You guys don't understand that John Cena lost to the same guy that Jey Uso made give up. Let me put that into perspective for you. Jey Uso has nowhere near the legacy of John Cena. He has nowhere near the quality of matches as John Cena. He has nowhere near, you know what, he probably has a better skill set. But he's not the caliber of champion. He doesn't have the caliber of promos. He does not have the caliber of character. Yes, the yeet shit is cool. I say yeet. You say yeet. We all say yeet. But he's not John Cena. He doesn't have the entire crowd shrugging their shoulders saying, you can't see me. He doesn't have a joke that has been going for over a decade. Every time you see a picture of John Cena, you know what they say? Why is there nothing in the picture? This is shit that, like, you cannot send your biggest seller off in the way that you just sent John Cena. And I gotta be the first one to say it, because everybody and their mom is acting like that was a good send-off, and it wasn't. It was not. The entire farewell tour should have been booked better. I can understand a few losses, okay? I can understand one or two losses. This entire run should have been one last Super Cena run, not because it's predictable. Yeah, of course, it'll be more predictable if we had one more Super Cena run. That's what we want. This is our childhood hero. John Cena's career started before I was born. Put that into perspective. That send-off was pathetic. The farewell tour should have gone as a Super Cena run. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why do we just want to see John Cena win every last match? Why do we want to see him bury talent? It's not burying talent, bro. This is the GOAT. This is the people that you guys call the GOAT. So it only makes sense that the GOAT should come in there, clean house, and leave. I feel like everybody and their mom would have been okay with that. The people that are saying they're happy Gunther won are lying to themselves. They are lying to themselves to fit the narrative that wrestling needs to fit a certain standard. Wrestling is entertainment. I am entertained by seeing my childhood hero win. I'm not entertained by seeing fucking Gunther or Walter, whatever fuck he decides to change his name to, when he loses another 20 pounds. I'm not entertained seeing him beat the fucking GOAT. Does Gunther even have a world title reign? What? Okay, I'm so serious. And here's another thing about the booking, okay? I would have booked John Cena's final match as is, okay? I would have asked Edge for a favor. Edge, can you come back to WWE? I want a fatal four-way match with some of John Cena's best rivals. And this is how I would have did his final match. John Cena versus CM Punk versus Edge versus Randy Orton. And if you want to make it a fatal five-way, you can throw Brock Lesnar in there. But these are three of his best freaking feuds. And you sent him off with fucking Gunther. What are we doing? I do not understand if that was Triple H's choice, if that was John Cena's choice. I don't know whose choice it was, but that is the kind of shit that I just cannot stand, okay? Like, Cody Rhodes did not need the belt again. this soon, okay? Because I think WWE has this new problem where they want to keep the belt on the same 3 or 4 people the entire time. Think about it. Since 2015, right? How many times has Roman Reigns held the belt? How many times has Seth Rollins held the belt? You get where I'm going with this, right? How many times has Brock Lesnar held the belt? Okay, and then let's flip the question around. Drew McIntyre, who is a fucking beast in the ring, who has everything it takes to be a star, has gotten the championship like once or twice, and then he hasn't even had great reigns with it. We gave Damian Priest the fucking belt, and he is one of the most boring motherfuckers of all time, bro. The worst in Judgment Day, by far. The person that should have held the belt in Judgment Day was Finn Balor. But let's get back on topic and talk about the GOAT Cena. There is no reason John Cena's farewell tour should have even had a loss other than like Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar is almost as much of a legend as John Cena is. And I'm okay with him losing to Brock Lesnar. But it is just insane to me that at one point in time, CM Punk walked away from WWE as champion. Without any fucking, without him even leaving for an actual retirement. Just for a storyline, CM Punk walked away with the championship after 400 days. And John Cena, who's given 23 years to this company, who did not abandon the company for Hollywood like our boy The Rock did. And before you guys say I'm a Rock hater, no the fuck I'm not. I am one of The Rock's biggest fans. Fast and Furious, WWE, and Black Adam. I am not gonna shit on The Rock. I love The Rock. But what I'm trying to say, The Rock wanted that Hollywood experience so bad that he left WWE behind. John Cena did not do that. And yes, John Cena did go be in movies. And yes, he did go do Peacemaker. He's Hollywood now. Let's not get it wrong. He did not go Hollywood until giving almost 15 to 20 years of being on Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, on a week-to-week basis. He's at every pay-per-view. He's training the next generation. He's doing everything the WWE wants to. Do you know that John Cena's first movie, he didn't even want to fucking be an actor? Vince McMahon forced him to be an actor. He don't think, oh, John Cena tried to go to Hollywood, it just flopped. He didn't even want to do that. He did not want to do that. That was all Vince. But I'm not going to drag out this video too long. I just want to say, if I were to book the farewell tour, it would not have had John Cena go out in the way that it did. Yes, he could hang up the boots. Yes, he could have a loss, but not in the way that he did. He put on a clinic. They just made Gunther look undefeatable when he literally lost to Superkick Uso. Like, I cannot stress how bad it is for him to take an attitude adjustment through a table, an attitude adjustment off of the top rope, 5 regular attitude adjustments. He escaped the STFU. He escaped the sleeper hold twice. So what are we going to do with Gunther now? Because now, when you just did that with Gunther, you can't book him to lose against guys like Jey Uso no more. Now, Gunther has to be the face. Gunther has to be on Roman Reigns' level. Gunther has to be on Seth Rollins' level. He has to be on Cody Rhodes' level. He has to be able to walk down guys like Obafemi. You literally do not understand that Gunther can no longer lose because you just made him beat the greatest of all time. The Super Cena. The Superman. The fucking, he beat the Terminator, dude. So you did more harm than good by making him beat John Cena in the fashion that he did. Not only is there way better legends who could have submitted Cena. If you wanted to make Cena submit, we have Brock Lesnar at the Kimura Lock. Do you know who Brock Lesnar beat with the Kimura Lock? Mark Henry. He broke Giant's arms with that fucking submission. And you're telling me we couldn't just book Lesnar to make Cena tap? We have to do it with Gunther? Yeah, no. Triple H, you gotta see me, dog. I need that fade.